Welcome to RWG Publishing, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into an inspiring one. It's from The Final Playbook, Redemption on the Field by Bill Vincent. Our goal here, as always, is to pull out those key insights, the really fascinating stuff, giving you a shortcut to understanding this, well, powerful story about grit, second chances, and ultimately a comeback.
That's right. And, while it definitely has all the exciting football action you'd expect, Bill Vincent really takes it deeper. It becomes this exploration of what happens when scandal just blows up your career, forces you to face your past, figure out what success really means, and find redemption, not just, on the field, but inside yourself. It's a very human story. Resonates way beyond football.
Absolutely. And at the center is Jack Thompson. He was like the golden boy quarterback in the NFL, had it all, then boom, a huge scandal, loses everything. He ends up coaching high school football, kind of hiding out, really. But then this unexpected offer comes along, pulls him back into the spotlight, and challenges, well, everything he thought he knew. So the big question for you listening in is this. Can a guy rebuild a struggling college team and his own shattered life, his relationships? Can he find real redemption when his past just won't let go? Let's dive in. Okay, so Jack Thompson's story. It starts, kind of ironically, at the absolute peak. Star quarterback, NFL fame, destined for greatness, right? The book really paints this picture of fame, fortune, and a promising future. League's top QB, but then, like Vincent writes, it all just vanished. Swift and unforgiving because of a gambling scandal. His name gets dragged through the mud. Career, reputation, gone. It's interesting, the book mentions him rubbing his shoulder, his old habit. But it feels like a symbol for that deeper wound, the betrayal.
Yeah, Vincent really dissects that public condemnation, doesn't he?
Yay.
It's not just that it happens, but you feel the rawness of his identity just crumbling. It makes us think about how quickly society builds people up just to tear them down. Leave someone like Jack totally shattered. Needs anonymity, which is why that retreat feels so, well, complete.
And that need for anonymity, it sounds almost like he exiled himself, right? After falling so publicly, he spends years coaching high school ball, genuinely looking for, a sense of purpose, a quiet existence away from the past mistakes. But the book hints, subtly, that even there, the itch for something more, something bigger, was still nagging at him. What's that tell us about his ambition?
That itch is so important. It shows that, yeah, he found safety being anonymous, but he hadn't really made peace with himself or what he was capable of. He'd built this Coach Thompson identity, but that fire, that drive to lead, it never really went away. It's that internal conflict, that sort of simmering ambition that makes the next part so interesting.
Which comes as the surprise phone call. Eric Marshall, athletic director at Litchfield College. And Litchfield, the book describes it as struggling, like really struggling. No winning seasons in years. A total mess, frankly. It's such a contrast to Jack's old life. So how does he react when he gets this pretty unlikely offer?
Oh, his first reaction is just pure hesitation. He's so aware of his past, He tells Eric straight up, my reputation isn't exactly spotless. He's scared of bringing that baggage, being that cautionary tale, to a new team. But Eric Marshall's response, it's powerful, really plants that seed of redemption. He says, we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for someone who can inspire these kids. You're that guy. It's belief, not just a job offer. Sees a different kind of strength in Jack.
I found that moment with Coach Ray Mitchell really, really key. Jack goes to his old college mentor for advice. What's the wisdom Ray gives him that kind of shifts things?
Oh, Coach Ray's words are like the emotional anchor for this whole thing. He tells Jack, you can't outrun your past forever. Believe me, he says, I've seen plenty of good men try. The truth is, it always catches up with you. What matters is how you face it when it does. That's not just advice. It's a challenge, really. Makes Jack face the fact that hiding isn't moving forward. It's this moment of, critical self-assessment. Makes the decision less about avoiding the past and more about grabbing this chance for growth, for real self-acceptance.
So after wrestling with it, all the weight of his past, the fear of failing again, versus this temptation of a fresh start, Jack takes the Litchfield job, and Eric's words stick with him. This isn't just about football. This is about redemption, and if anyone deserves it, it's you. Sounds like he's finally ready to get back in the game, but yeah, like you said, on his own terms.
Exactly. Accepting isn't just taking the job, it's committing to his own healing, a conscious choice to stop running. Vincent shows us it's not just a career move, it's step one in coaching himself back to, integrity and purpose.
Okay, fast forward. Jack shows up at Litchfield, and wow, it's a reality check. The campus is a forgotten relic. Aging brick buildings, overgrown fields. The lion mascot, faded and peeling, looks more like a tired house cat. Even the practice field is patchy, goalposts leaning. Facilities are totally run down. Reminds him of high schools with like zero budget. What does that imagery tell us right away about the mountain he has to climb?
Yeah, Vincent doesn't just say Litchfield is struggling. He makes you see it, feel it. That faded and peeling mascot, the patchy field. It's almost a metaphor for Jack's own internal state, right? Shows a huge scale of the rebuild needed. He's not walking into some polished program. He's walking to the physical embodiment of the struggle he's facing inside himself. And that definitely includes the team.
Exactly. First time he sees them, players are kind of lazily lifting weights, more into their phones. Jack sees individuals who just happen to wear the same jersey. The quarterback, Tommy Barker, his body language just screamed disinterest. Running back Mike's got an injured knee. What does he realize about this team beyond just, their athletic
He
skills?
sees right away this isn't just about X's and O's, it's cultural. He's got to change not just how they play, but why they play. And that needs strong leadership right from the get-go. Instill some purpose, some drive.
And he brings it. That first team meeting, he's firm. The book quotes him, "I won't waste my time on someone who doesn't care about winning." Emphasizes hard work, no shortcuts, no excuses. It's interesting, too, he challenges Tommy directly. But he also immediately spots Sarah, the first female kicker. Despite all the doubts around her, what's the message he's sending there?
Well, this is where his own past kind of becomes an asset, strangely enough. He knows what it's like to face doubt, to be the outsider. So by acknowledging Sarah's skill, hitting the team's complacency head on and saying, I'm not interested in what's holding you back, I'm interested in what you're going to do about it, he's setting a totally new standard. Building on merit, on accountability, that's crucial for rebuilding trust, getting them to act like a real team.
Those early practices sound rough. Brutal repetition after repetition, just drilling the little things.
Oh,
But even with the grumbling and eye-rolling, Jack starts seeing these flickers of hope. The team slowly starts to gel, showing signs of effort. How important are those little things for a team that's basically lost its way?
Oh, focusing on the little things is absolutely vital for a team like that. It's about building back foundational habits, discipline. It mirrors Jack's own journey, too, right? Reestablishing his own core values after everything fell apart. It's about showing them that consistent effort leads to small wins, and those small wins pave the way for something bigger. Attention to detail matters.
And that leads to this really pivotal moment where Jack's mentorship truly comes through. He finds out Tommy, the QB, is struggling with his dad's drinking, job losses, real life stuff. And Jack, in this incredibly vulnerable moment, shares his own past mistakes, admits he screwed up badly, tried to do too much, lost it all because he didn't ask for help. What makes that vulnerability so powerful for Tommy and maybe for Jack too?
That moment. It's classic storytelling, right? The mentor shows vulnerability, empowers the mentee. Vincent uses Jack's own history of trying to do too much to hit on this universal thing about, trying to carry everything yourself versus asking for help. Shared struggle creates this deep trust, lets Tommy see he's not alone, doesn't have to make the same mistakes. It's life-changing mentorship. And it really cements Jack's own commitment to being honest with himself.
And all that tough love, that honesty, it pays off. The Litchfield Lions get their first win, described as pure joy and disbelief.
Mhm.
This win, it's way more than just a score, isn't it?
You're right.
Like Coach Darrell says, once a team starts to believe, well, that's when things really start to change.
Yeah, this isn't just a win. It's the moment they start truly believing in themselves. The author uses this first taste of success brilliantly. It shows how belief goes from this fragile thing to a real collective force. It's like a mini version of Jack's own shift from doubt to, believing in his own comeback. It's proof, tangible proof that the effort, the vulnerability, the leadership, they can actually work. Makes that whole idea of redemption feel real for everyone.
And if you're finding this story, Jack Thompson's journey, as compelling as we are, well, you're really just getting started with the final playbook, Redemption on the Field by Bill Vincent.
Exactly. We're hitting the highlights here, but the full depth, the character arcs, the plot twists, you really need to experience the whole thing. It's a seriously powerful read if you're looking for inspiration or want to understand resilience or just appreciate what it takes to rebuild something.
So for that full journey, head over to the link in our description. You can grab your copy on Amazon today. Right, now back to the Lions. Because just when things seem to be turning around for Jack, the past comes knocking, loudly. Jack gets a call. A journalist, Cassidy Walsh, she's digging into the old scandal, the one that ended his NFL career. Causes this wave of dread, threatens everything he's trying to build at Litchfield. This feels like that test, right? Coach Ray's words. You can't outrun your past. How does Jack handle this?
This is exactly where Ray Mitchell's wisdom gets put to the test. Does he run again, or does he finally face it? What's really interesting is how Vincent shows Jack's new sense of purpose being directly challenged by these old ghosts. It's not just about his job, it's like an existential threat, makes him rethink his whole approach to his history.
And then it gets even more complicated. Enter Mike Rawlings. A former teammate shows up unexpectedly, reveals there was a bigger conspiracy, people higher up, strings being pulled in that original scandal. How does this change Jack's view of his own downfall? It wasn't just his mistake anymore.
Yeah, that's a total game changer. It reframes everything for him, shows him his personal error was kind of used, manipulated within this larger scheme, shifts it from just pure personal guilt to something more complex involving betrayal, external forces. It gives him a new truth, a bigger picture that he can actually confront, not just inside his own head, but out in the world, too.
So, armed with this, Jack goes on the offensive, strategically, gets his allies involved, calls up Coach Ray, who agrees to start digging. And this PR expert, Emily, advises him to control the narrative, show his redemption arc, show people the man you are now, not the one you were then. This is about shaping his own story now, proactively.
Exactly. This is where you see Jack thinking critically, strategically. He's not just reacting anymore. He's using his network, using expert advice to handle this complex thing. He understands that the truth needs a good story to actually be heard, to stick. It shows huge growth, a maturity he definitely didn't have back in his playing days.
And right in the middle of all this old rivalry flares up. Connor Hayes, the coach from Midland, the guy whose team's play led to Jack's career-ending injury. Hayes throws these taunts at him like, potential doesn't win games, Jack, tries to get under his skin. But the book says Jack stays cool, tells him storms are what make you stronger. What does that moment signify for Jack, inside?
Oh, that confrontation with Hayes is so symbolic. It's Jack literally facing an antagonist from his past, someone representing the very mechanism of his downfall, the physical pain, the fact that he can stay composed, respond with wisdom instead of just anger. It shows incredible personal growth. He's not the golden boy defined by one bad play anymore. He's this seasoned, resilient coach who gets the bigger picture.
And that resilience seems to bleed into his coaching, too. Assistant coach Pete suggests a new strategy, a spread offense, gives players like Tommy more control, lets them read the defense and make decisions on the fly. Jack, even though it's risky changing things mid-season, he agrees he needs to adapt, evolve, believes great coaches knew when to adapt. How does that mirror his personal change?
It's a perfect parallel to his own journey, isn't it? Just like he's learning to adapt his life story, face his past, evolve. He's adapting his coaching strategy. It's about trusting his players, empowering them, moving beyond the old, rigid ways. It's a metaphor for him moving beyond his old ways of thinking about himself, accepting new paths to success.
But it's not all smooth sailing. The team gets hit hard. Starting QB Trevor gets injured. Then the backup, Blake, goes down too. Suddenly, this freshman third stringer, Jake Price, gets thrown into a huge game, described as a raw, inexperienced freshman. But he shows guts, determination under pressure, proves the team is bent, not broken.
Yeah, that sequence of injuries, it tests the absolute core of the team Jack's rebuilt and his leadership. Forces them to dig really deep, find strength in unexpected places. In this raw, inexperienced kid, it shows that the culture of excellence Jack's been building is actually taking hold. It's about more than just the star players. It's about the collective spirit, the ability to step up.
Which brings us to the championship game and the final playbook. Jack designs this game plan described as bold, innovative, even reckless. He declares, "No more playing it safe. We didn't come this far to hold back." He's embracing the risk for real redemption. Why is embracing that reckless approach so significant now?
That reckless playbook,
Yeah.
it signifies Jack's complete willingness to embrace risk, not just on the field, but in his life. It's a real full-circle moment. The fear of failure is finally overcome by this drive for genuine, hard-won success. And that includes facing his past head-on. He's done playing it safe, emotionally and strategically. He's truly putting it all on the line.
And the community support. It's incredible. The whole town of Litchfield just rallies. Small town loyalty, right? Go Lions, banners, we believe signs everywhere. The mayor, the local diner owner, and old friend Claire. Everyone's behind them. This town is all in. It's more than just a team now. Jack's inspired a whole movement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That community support isn't just, background noise. It's a direct reflection of Jack's impact. Their belief in the team, in him, it reinforces his own beliefs in his redemption, shows the power of collective faith, the tangible results of his renewed purpose. His journey has clearly resonated way beyond just him.
The championship game itself, it's the payoff. The Lions, total underdogs, fight back against Northridge. They execute Jack's risky plays, and they win. The stadium exploded in cheers, just pure, unfiltered triumph. Jack gets lifted onto his players' shoulders, feels whole again. This is that external validation, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's the big public validation moment. Being lifted up by his players, it symbolizes their trust, his acceptance back into that world of respect, accomplishment. But the real redemption, as Vincent shows us so well, goes much deeper than the scoreboard. It's about how Jack processes this win, how he uses it to redefine himself.
Right, because at the press conference afterward, he handles that inevitable redemption story question with confidence. He focuses on the culture of excellence, the team's effort, declares he was no longer the man trying to outrun his past. He was Jack Thompson, championship-winning coach. That's such a powerful statement of who he is now.
That press conference is him publicly claiming his healing, right? The culmination of finally facing it all. He doesn't deny the past, but he integrates it. Shows that growth isn't about erasing mistakes, it's about learning from them, evolving. He's owning his narrative, finally, on his terms. Shows this maturity, this self-acceptance he just didn't have before.
But the ultimate redemption, as the book calls it, goes even deeper, into his personal life. He reaches out to his old teammate Brad. They have this quiet, unsung reconciliation, slowly rebuilds that trust. He also visits his ex-wife Helen, tries to mend things for their daughter Emily, says, I have to try. For her, for us. And to Emily herself, he confesses, I've changed, Em, losing everything. It made me see things differently. You're my family, and I'm not walking away this time. Not again. That feels like the biggest turning point, maybe.
That is the ultimate redemption. Vincent nails it. True success isn't just the trophies, it's having the courage to fix the most important relationships. Jack's vulnerability with his family. It proves how profoundly he's changed. Shows an emotional intelligence that was missing in his golden boy days. He's prioritizing connection, responsibility over just personal glory now.
And it even extends to his father. He makes this difficult visit home, and his dad finally tells him, I'm proud of you, Jack. Jack sees his dad as this flawed, broken man, kind of like himself, finds this unexpected closure. What does that add to his healing?
That reconciliation with his dad, it brings in this whole intergenerational aspect. By seeing his father's flaws, accepting him, Jack gets perspective on his own flaws, breaks old patterns maybe, finds peace in accepting imperfection, in himself and others. It's not just forgiveness, it's deep psychological growth, real self-acceptance.
So 3 years later, Jack's built this lasting legacy at Litchfield, still mentoring young QBs like Sam Delaney. Players like Malik's younger brother are choosing Litchfield because of Coach Thompson. He finds this contentment he'd never known, measures success in something far deeper than a score. His heart is finally healed.
Yeah, that epilogue really hammers home the core message. Redemption isn't just a finish line. It's this ongoing journey of purpose, of giving back. His legacy isn't his NFL stats. It's the impact he has on these young guys, the authentic peace he finds by valuing connection and real leadership. It's such a powerful statement that true greatness often lies in that courage to rebuild and to serve others.
Jack Thompson's story. It's incredible. From fallen star, haunted by everything, to a championship coach who found redemption, healed those broken relationships, and realized success is so much more than just what's on the scoreboard.
Absolutely. And the key takeaways for you listening are pretty clear, I think. The power of facing your past head on. The importance of real mentorship. And the truth that, yeah, ultimate success often comes from rebuilding connections, contributing to something bigger than just yourself.
So it makes you think, doesn't it? What final playbook are you writing for your own life? And what relationships might need some mending for your own ultimate redemption? And for you who wants every single detail of Jack's truly inspiring story, don't forget to grab your copy of The Final Playbook, Redemption on the Field by Bill Vincent. You can find the link right there in our description. Takes you straight to Amazon.
Thank you so much for listening to the Deep Dive Podcast. We'll catch you next time for another Deep Dive.